Hello and welcome. This is Robert here with a Tech Geek 311 recap of Apple's 2017 event. So, September 12th, Apple held their 2017 event, and they held it in the brand new Steve Jobs Theater, which is on their new Apple campus, the one that looks like a spaceship, kind of. What made this event most significant was that it's the 10-year anniversary that the iPhone came out. Remember, the iPhone came out in 2007, we're in 2017, so it's been 10 years. So the only way to truly honor a 10-year iPhone was to do it in the Steve Jobs Theater, because Steve Jobs is the one who actually presented the iPhone back in 2007. So the event really did not last 2 full hours like I thought it was. It was only about an hour and a half. But Apple did cover quite a bit of stuff. Not as much as I was hoping, and some release dates were kind of bad. So if you want to find out about that, stay till the end of the video, and I'll give you all the release dates of what's coming out as far as software, hardware, and so forth. Without further ado, let's get into this video right here so I can explain exactly what the event was about, what I watched, what I found out, what's coming out soon, and so forth. Starting off, we knew this event was going to cover the iPhone, but of course Apple pushed that to the end. So Apple pretty much came in, they presented a tribute and all that to Steve Jobs about how he was as a man, as a engineer, creator, and so forth. Then they also gave their relief fund program that they're going to do for all the victims and people affected by, like I was, for Hurricane Harvey in Texas and also Hurricane Irma in Florida. So they gave that little relief fund there. They brought out also a retail specialist saying that they're going to be changing their entire retail environment. They're going to be coming up with more workshops, more things for people to learn about the Apple products, software, and so forth. So that's something new to look forward to on that. Then the first product they really went through was the Apple Watch. Okay, this little beauty has only gone through 2 series. Series 1, Series 2. It's gone through its watchOS, the watchOS 1, 2, 3 now. Actually, we're actually in the beta process of watchOS 4. So they pretty much showed off the watchOS 4 features. They wanted to give a little more recap on those features. Then they decided to jump straight into Watch Series 3. Now, rumors have claimed that Watch Series 3 would be more of an independent device. Well, of course, that came out true. Apple did present the Watch Series 3 as being more waterproof. Then they also gave in 2 significant features. One was the built-in antenna for cellular connection. Now, we don't know if this is an extra price or not, but they claim it's going to use your iPhone's phone number as a cellular connection and your carrier. Then they also came up, they figured a mini SIM and all that wouldn't work, so they built in a SIM card within it, so you could have the cellular connectivity. So the form factor is pretty much the same, with the heart sensor on the back being ever so slightly bigger. Not much of a difference at all. Colors, about the same. Differences, they mentioned a couple of watch bands, but no smart bands, which was kind of, confusing, because we thought they would be smart bands, not just color bands. And that was pretty much it. So the price point really only went up about $30 or so compared to the last watch, and that's only to include cellular connectivity. So let me go through here my notes in here. Now, watchOS 4, the new update, since the presentation was on the 12th, in 1 week, which will be on September 19th, they're going to release the update to watchOS 4, and that's for all Apple Watch users. Now, the Apple Watch Series 3, they're going to present that as pre-orders on September 15th. So depending on where you are, it's usually midnight time in California. So you want to see where your time zone is, and that'll tell you when you can pre-order. And then they're going to ship and be available by September 22nd. So we know now the 15th, which is the same week they present, and the 22nd being released. That's pretty much what they did on the watch. Then Apple jumped into the Apple TV. Now, this would be considered the 5th generation of the Apple TV. I didn't see much of a difference between the Apple TV 4th generation and Apple TV 5th generation. The only thing they mentioned on the Apple TV 5th generation is the 4K video, and the fact that all your movies that you've installed or purchased that are HD quality will jump up to 4K. Beyond that, I didn't see much of a difference between the two. Of course, tvOS 11, which will probably be out again also on the 19th as well, that has the improvements. But as far as hardware, from Generation 4 to Generation 5, 4K was the only thing they presented. So I don't see much of a need in upgrading, because I have a 4th generation now to the 5th generation at this point. Maybe 5th to 6th, yes. But 4 to 5, not much. Now, if you have a 3rd generation or below Apple TV, yeah. 5th generation, jump to that. Don't go with 4. That's my recommendation on that from what they presented. Then Apple went ahead and jumped into the iPhones. Now, we knew they were not going to announce the iPhone, the flagship one, right off the bat. This we knew. But they did announce the iPhone 8. But not the iPhone 8 as you were thinking the iPhone 8 would be. Instead of going from a 7 to a 7S and 7S Plus, they went from a 7 directly to an 8. That 8 is pretty much like taking a 7 and 7S, and that's it. I mean, that's all they did. The 8 takes the place of a 7S and 7S Plus. They gave it the same glass form factor for wireless charging. They upgraded the cameras, front and back. And of course, you have iOS 11. Beyond that, there's not much of a difference between the 7s and the 8s as far as shelling out money to buy another phone, because the form factor is the same, the Touch ID is the same, all this stuff's the same. So if you want to go from a 6 to an 8, yes. You want to go from a 5 to an 8, yes. 4 to an 8, yes. But from a 7 to an 8, there's not much reason on there. The price points were pretty much the same. The amount of gigabytes, about the same. There wasn't much of a difference between those two. So instead of going from a 7 to a 7S, you will go from a 7 to an 8. That's the only difference that I saw in those. Now, those, of course, they have plenty of those. So those, they did the pre-orders for the September 19th. Same as the watch. Actually, no, not 19th. 19th will be iOS 11. September 15th for the phones. Same as the watch will be your pre-order. And then you'll have September 22nd as being the release date. Those, they have plenty of quantities. So that was all they really announced as far as the iPhone 8. So it wasn't what we were thinking the iPhone 8 was going to be. Well, then came, of course, Tim Cook's One More Thing. And we know with the One More Thing, that's going to be the flagship device. This is the one I was most anticipating. This is the one I was most hoping to see. This is the one that I really, really, really wanted to actually pre-order. Well, they came up and they called it iPhone X. Well, it looks like an X, but it's actually the Roman numeral number for 10. So 10 years, iPhone 10. That was pretty much the catch on it. And the rumors were correct. Did have a full 5.8 vertical screen, that we knew. No home button, so fully gesture based. And Face ID for unlocking and secure payments and so forth. That came true. So we did get all what the rumors said. We did get the OLED screen. We did get the IPX68 waterproof and dustproof stuff. So that means you can pretty much submerge it for 30 minutes and not ruin it. They did not explain much about the lightning charging. They did explain about the wireless charging, and that since their little wireless mat, their little air home or air mat that they have is not going to be available till 2018, the wireless charging can be used with third-party wireless chargers. So you can use your existing Morphes or Belkins or whatever you've got for wireless charging, you can use it with those. So that means that gives you abilities to use wireless charging now instead of having to wait till 2018 for theirs. The speed of the A11 processor, which they did include in the iPhone 8s, is definitely going to be a killer as far as speed goes and processing. The battery, they didn't say much except 2 hours more than an iPhone 7. So battery is improved. Cameras, those have a little more features in there. They upgraded the portrait mode. They upgraded the resolution mode. So the front and the back camera on the iPhone 10 is going to pretty much match. And that was amazing. So whatever you can do on the back, you can do on the front. And that I like the most. The cameras, definitely. That was definitely an improvement. I do a lot of pictures, do a lot of videos, so the camera improvement, that is a plus right there. Now they gave a price point of $999.99, basically $1,000, which is kind of what we knew. We knew it would be around $1,000. But if you think about it, when I got my iPhone 7 Plus, it was about almost, $969, $970 around there. So the price difference, if you add in AppleCare for the two, really only $180. That's all you're looking at. And what was kind of silly was they went from a 64 gig to a 256. You know, why not go 128 to 256 or go 256 512? There was no mention of a 512 at all. That was kind of surprising. The worst part, and it's worse for me, I don't know if it's going to be worse for anyone else, but they bumped it all the way to an October 27th pre-order date. But then they moved the release date to November 3rd. We're now in September. They're announcing it September 12th, but you're not going to be able to even get it until November 3rd. And that's assuming that between now and then, they can bring that production quantity up from 10,000 units a day to a lot more, which I think is what Apple's hoping. So by the time November 3rd comes around, they'll have more than enough units for the stores and for the pre-orders and so forth. So that's the only downside about those. Beyond that, though, as far as the iPhone 10, that is going to be the phone. If you have a 7, you have a 6, a 5, whatever, iPhone 10 is going to be your bet. 8, only if you love the form factor and you love Touch ID and so forth, go with that. Definitely watch Series 3. If you have a Series 2, Series 1, no. Watch Series 3 is going to be the most independent Apple Watch they're going to have. So definitely with watchOS 4, watch Series 3, that's going to be your key. And I'm definitely going to do the pre-order on the 15th for Watch Series 3 for sure. Get that one in with my watchOS 4. I'll give you guys a video. I don't know if I'll do an unboxing, but I'll give you guys a video on what I find out about it and how it works. tvOS, well, tvOS 11, yeah, the good update for that one. The TV 4K, nah, not so much. Can wait on that until they come up with a Generation 6. Mac OS High Sierra was not mentioned at all. But I did find out in the leaks that there will be an update for Mac OS High Sierra coming up around September 25th. So that's something that wasn't mentioned in this keynote. I assume they're going to have another event in October and they'll go over the iPads, they'll go over the Mac software and so forth then. But we did find out September 25th you can get Mac OS High Sierra. HomePod, their speaker, no mention of this event. So that's still due for December. That you guys can wait on that. And that was it, guys. Now, Face ID, a lot of people were kind of concerned about that one. You're pretty much going to set up Face ID the same as you do Touch ID. The only difference is Face ID is going to be faster and more accurate. Now, of course, Craig had a little flub in the presentation, and that's, you know, that's understandable. Those things happen during those live events. But from what I saw, Face ID is going to be a very quick and fast, easy way to unlock your iPhones. That is something I want to demonstrate and I want to show you guys once it comes out. Beyond that, that was the Apple event. That was the whole event that they presented with the new iPhones, new Apple Watches, new software, and of course the new charging pad, which is for 2018. They only gave us a slight preview, just like they did with the HomePods. That's pretty much what the event was about. I want to know your thoughts on what you thought. If you guys haven't seen it yet, you can always go to apple.com. You can watch the recap of the event. Let me know your thoughts. Are you going to get an Apple Watch Series 3? My recommendation, yes. Are you going to go with the iPhone 8 or are you going to wait for the iPhone 10 to pre-order that one in October? 10 for sure for me. I've already got it saved in my Apple Store app on my phone. It's saved as a favorite, so it's definitely ready for a Touch ID pre-order on that one. TV 4K, what's your thought on that? Is it worth it or not? September 19th, we get iOS 11. Phones be almost like a new phone. You get tvOS 11, like new Apple TVs. And you get watchOS 4, which pretty much improves the Apple Watch. So let me know your thoughts on the software, what you guys think. Leave them in the comments below. And as always, guys, don't forget, give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Share this video. Send this video out to your friends. People that know nothing about the Apple event or Apple products, share this video out to your friends, your social networks, and so forth. Get the word out. Let people know the honest truth, unbiased, and so forth, so people have and can make a good buying decision on where your money goes. That is what I got for you guys. So that was the 2017 event from Apple. If you want to find out more, I've got all my links below. Check out my social networks, check out my blogs, check out my stuff that goes out. In fact, I put out a blog also on the iOS 11 Goldmaster that came out the same day. So read about it, check it out, see more about what's included in iOS 11 before you guys install it. And you'll get more info there. So follow me. Go ahead and like my video, subscribe if you haven't, and I will catch you guys later with more. Remember, I gave you guys the release dates of everything, so be prepared. We've got a lot coming up between now and the end of the year. Hope you guys have a good one. I'll catch you guys later with more.